will become Prime Minister of the UK. Let's dissect and make sense of all of this. Joining us is a political commentator, Dr. Tony Agbon, is a senior lecturer at the Anglo-Ruskin University in London. Doctor, wonderful and great to see you again. But I wonder, what's your assessment of these final debates between the Prime Minister and, of course, the Labour leader, Mr. Starmer?
Yeah, thank you, Kelly. Listening to your initial report there, that was very robust. And like you alluded to, the debate yesterday in Nottingham was very fierce, it was passionate, it was argumentative. For all the elements of what a debate should be and how it should be, they were present. A lot of fireworks, both from the current Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, and then his main challenger, Keir Starmer. They were firing on all cylinders. And we were all watching here all over the UK. Everybody was glued to his television set, those on radio, and trying to make sense of what these two men were saying. Because anyhow you look at it, one of them is certainly going to be the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom come July 4th, 2024. So the debate was interesting, and depending on which side of the divide every British citizen belong. Some were saying that Sunak won the debate, others were saying it was Starmer that won the debate. But key issues were discussed, and I'm sure as we go in this conversation,
because I'm just going to take you up on that, Doctor, because, you are in London, and I'm just wondering perhaps what exactly are the striking issues. What's at stake here as these two men fight to become Prime Minister? For Rishi Sunak, a second time. So what were the major issues that drove the debate?
Yeah, the key issues, and which affect the life of those of us who live in the United Kingdom, they are just very simple. Number one is the economy. Number two is healthcare, immigration, and then tax. So those are the four main issues. And during that debate, you could see that both Rishi Sunak and Starmer, they were touching on these issues. So when you look at the United Kingdom, it's a pure welfare state. So there's a lot of state support for citizens here, those who are vulnerable, those who are not working, or those who have some health challenges and are not able to work. The government gives a lot of support. So, but the challenge in the United Kingdom, at least for the years I have lived there, is government increasingly is finding it difficult to fund some of these things. So in the debate yesterday, a lot of the questions that people were throwing at them was, how are you going to fund some of these promises you are making now? So for the economy, in the last 14 years, the Conservative Party have been in power. So a lot has happened. Some of them self-inflicted. Some of them, as a result of things that are happening externally in the global economy, has really made life a bit difficult, really difficult for people. Cost of living is very high here. Inflation at the time was even beyond, was in double digits. It was above 10%. So these were the issues. So who is going to tackle it more? Sunak was very, very, very much on the front foot yesterday. He was, attacking Starmer. And I was saying that for UK voters, if they vote for the Labour Party and they come to power, taxes are going to increase. Households are going to pay like £2,000 extra in tax, which if you convert that in Nigeria currency, which is going to close to about 4 million naira if you convert it. So these were the issues. But Starmer on his side was saying that is not what he's going to do. So there was that back and forth there. Then when you look at the economy itself, so people are looking at who has the best program. And for most people in the UK, 14 years of the Conservative government, and this is what happens in this country over time. People are already drained of the party. They just want something new. And recent polls that have just been done by the economists and the polling firm, we think, have projected that the Labour Party is going to have a 280-seat majority, the highest since the Second World War. So, but we'll watch and see what will happen.
Yes, Doctor, there is a war in Ukraine, Russia's invasion of Ukraine. There is a war in Gaza as well. So from an international perspective, UK's foreign policy is very pivotal to other countries as well. So just how do you think allies and perhaps enemies in quote also would have viewed their debate as well?
Yeah, you are very right on that. The two crises you mentioned now in the Ukraine and the one going on between Israel and the Hamas in Gaza, they are going to play a key role. But I think for the more recent one, which is the crisis in Gaza, I think the two political parties have been able to dance their way around. You know how politicians are. They are very slippery. They are very diplomatic. So people cannot really hold them by the wrist as to where they stand. So I think that has kind of subsided a little bit. Then for the Ukraine, the crisis between Russia and Ukraine, which has been going on for about 2 years and 4 months and all that, the United Kingdom citizens, they tend to support their government. They believe that Russia cannot just annex a sovereign nation like Ukraine. So that one may not have a significant impact on the election. But the Gaza own is a very high touch point. And depending on how the Conservative Party, which currently has the Prime Minister, and the Labour Party, which is the challenger, depending on how what they tell the British people in these final days, which is always very critical in UK elections, that will now determine where the pendulum will swing as far as that Israel-Hamas issue in Gaza is concerned. So it's very dicey, and we are all keeping our fingers crossed.
Absolutely, we are as well here monitoring and following all the developments happening in the UK and all around the world. But just before I'll let you go, because there was a noisy protest outside of where the debate's held. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah. So there were noisy protests. People are disenchanted. There are issues about the environment as well, and then the Gaza thing as well. So those are the issues. I think it's a mix of both. You know, how the incoming government will deal with the issue of climate change, and then how the seeming carnage in Gaza will stop. A lot of people believe that the UK government have not been decisive enough putting pressure on Israel. So those are the dynamics that are playing out.
Absolutely, Doctor. I mean, the other issues just before the debate was the fact that the Prime Minister had some internal issues within his party. He had called for the elections earlier than scheduled, and his party members as well were a bit surprised and shocked at that decision by the Prime Minister. But it's about less than a week to go. We'll monitor and see how events unfold as regards the elections in UK. But thank you most kindly for your analysis and commentaries, Dr. Tony Agbon, Senior Lecturer at the Anglia Ruskin University in London. Thank you as always.
Thank you, Kelly. It's been my pleasure.